This is Kardec Radio for Teens. Important life-changing events as seen through the Spiritist perspective. Now it's time for real-life dilemmas experienced by teens themselves. The Diaries of Belinda and Alex with Carol Correa.
Hello, dear friends. It is a great honor to be with you once again. As you may remember, last week we discussed the importance of self-overcoming, of constantly working on ourselves so that we can uncover our own potential and allow our soul's best gifts to shine beautifully, because after all, as we discussed before, this is the sole purpose of our beautiful reincarnation. We matriculate in the school of life exactly to achieve this goal, uncover our very own divine potential. And then now you may ask yourself, I don't know if I have divine potential. Me? I seem just like an ordinary person. No. Yes, you. The laws are the same throughout the universe. God loves us all, and God considers you, myself, and everyone around us to be his or her children. And as a loving parent, God provides us with the exact same divine gifts. And what is then the role or the goal of our lives on earth? Not only of this one, but of our many, many lives on earth, is for us to uncover within the realms of our hearts the very gifts that were given to us from the bottom, from the depths of God's very own heart. And last week, dear friends, we talked about certain themes that come up again and again in a given reincarnation. And we discussed the fact that for Belinda, the theme, one of the central themes of her reincarnation is self-overcoming. That is, letting go of fear of being rejected, fear of loving herself, fear of loving others, fear of showing her identity to others, fear of being successful, fear of reaching her goals, replacing all of these fears with the gift of self-love, self-acceptance, and love for others. And you may say, oh goodness, everything that we share here at Kardec Radio, especially in our little show, Kardec Radio for Teens, sounds so beautiful, but how in the whole world do I do all that? How do I put these concepts into practice? Well, dear friends, Belinda has been showing that to us beautifully. Throughout every one of our shows, our dear Belinda has shown us how to practice this process of self-awareness and self-transformation. You may say, oh my goodness, did I miss something? I didn't notice that. What are you referring to? Well, I'm referring to her very own diaries, dear friends. Her very own diaries are a particular tool that Belinda uses to digest and debrief the most important turning points in her life. And through the tool of expressing herself in a safe way with her quote-unquote BFF, as she calls her diary, she learns to see patterns in her life. She learns to see her potential more clearly as it materializes in words, and she learns to see with the eyes of her heart what she wants to change in herself. So this is a practice that any of us could engage in if we feel inclined to do so. So as we reach another culminating point in Belinda's life, we learn that the power of love manifests itself in all circumstances, exactly like Jesus has taught us that love is the governing power of the universe, that all of us are destined to be loved and to be loving towards one another. This is why Jesus' number one recommendation to us is for us to love our Creator and for us to learn to love other people as we love ourselves. And you may be thinking, wow, another romantic story. Because if you remember, last week's episode was the episode where Belinda graduated and felt much love and support for from her entire community, from her family, and from her beloved Alex. So you may think, wow, another romantic story. Yes and no, dear friends. Yes, because I'm going today to continue sharing with you Belinda's relationship with Alex, absolutely. And no, because though the story or the relationship between Belinda and Alex may sound like a fairy tale to you, in reality it's far from being a fairy tale. Though they love, respect, and cherish one another, their relationship didn't come to life as perfectly as it may seem to you. In other words, their relationship is not like a perfect Hollywood movie, with all the respect to Hollywood movies which have beautiful messages. In reality, dear friends, when we see a couple like Belinda and Alex that are very compatible and very loving towards one another, they in fact have to work to achieve their goals of self-respect, self-love, and respect and love towards one another. You may be wondering, how exactly can we ourselves work towards reaching these goals? Well, dear friends, thanks to our beautiful philosophy, Spiritism, we know that we are immortal spirits. So if we have achieved a particular goal right now at our present life, that is only because in the past and past lives we have worked to transform the obstacles that we had created before or that had come our way to function as learning opportunities into opportunities for greater growth. So as we learn in the book Action and Reaction by the spirit doctor and great educator and reporter Andrea Lewis, everything that we do in our lives in the present time will have a reaction or a response connected to it, either immediately after or sometime in the future. So allow me to give you an example. In the book Reincarnation and Life by the spirit Amalia Solaris, which is not yet available in English, we see a beautiful romantic story similar to that of Alex and Belinda. We see that two spirits love each other very, very much, reincarnate, meet each other, they are able to fall in love yet again, but because of their different socioeconomic status, they are not able to marry or have a family or cherish their relationship. Why? Because the man's mother was against the relationship from the beginning and arranged a marriage for him. And so, though these two spirits were reincarnated at the same time and were very, very much alike and really truly loved each other, they were not able to be together. Amalia Solaris consults with her spirit guides, spirit mentors, or guardian angels then to ask about this real life situation that she observed and reflect upon why this might have happened this way. Why were these two people who loved each other so much destined to such fate? Her spirit mentors or guardian angels explained to her, well, the two spirits experienced this situation because in a previous life they were married, happily married, and they had a beautiful daughter. And this daughter fell in love with a man who was from a lower socioeconomic status than they were. And the parents were not able to accept the relationship, and instead of accepting their love, the parents resisted their love and asked the young lady, their daughter, to marry someone else who was from a higher economic status and who they believe could make her future more secure. So guess in the next reincarnation, guess who the young man who the daughter first wanted to marry was. He reincarnated as the mother in the second story. So he reproduced the same problem, the same challenge, the same difficult situation that he faced to his or her own parents. So as you can see, the actions that they had done in the past created this reaction in the present for them. Did it have to happen this way? Not necessarily, because all the people involved, all the spirits involved have free will like we all do, so we can choose to forgive and move forward, or we can simply repeat that lesson. But as you can see, dear friends, even when we are faced with a quote-unquote happy ending, the ones that seem perfect to us, the ones that when we are young perhaps we aspire to have, these happy endings don't come to life from a moment's notice or in 24 hours or even in a single lifetime. Those who have strong and solid relationships are given this gift because they were able to work out issues that were pending in a previous reincarnation. So let us remember that love is a gift, and love is indeed our destiny. However, love is not necessarily always a given, always present, always perfect, because we are not yet perfect spirits, because we are instead perfecting ourselves. Our relationships are perfecting themselves with us. So let us keep in mind that it is okay for us to face challenges. It is okay for us to face problems. It is okay for life not to be perfect, because those problems that we face, those challenges we face, help us mature or develop our emotions, our thoughts, our perspectives, and our spiritual values as well. And remember, when we face a challenge, we are preparing to reap better results in the future if we choose to accept the challenge with an open heart as a learning opportunity, like Belinda did when she replaced her fears for the gift of love. So allow me to share now with you another most beautiful turning point in Belinda's life, which is the direct result of her work towards self-transformation. Hey, dear diary, can you believe One whole year have passed and my life has changed like you cannot imagine. But, I was going to start a new diary because obviously it's a new phase. I graduated, I'm working, Alex and I got married. Wow, so much. We are living in our new home. It's hard to believe, but this situation is so special that I had to share it with you. So I broke my own rule. Even though I'm in a new phase, I decided to go back to you, dear diary, because you are my best friend, my BFF. So wow, this is like the best news ever. You're not going to believe. Are you ready? I'm expecting a baby. Wow. I know you didn't expect that, right? Yeah, because I'm the one who's expecting. Got it? All right, dear diary, you know I love you. There's a little one on the way. Yay! Bye, dear diary. I'll see ya. So, wow, dear listeners, how about that? Our dear Belinda is now going to become a mother. And as you know, parenthood, as we see it in the spirit doctrine, through the light of our beautiful philosophy, is a mission, because 9 times out of 10 we accept the responsibility of guiding an eternal, immortal spirit to new opportunities to progress in a new reincarnation. So what is our number one goal as parents? Our number one goal as parents, according to St. Augustine in the passage that he shared in the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 14, honor your father and your mother. Item 9, what is the greatest mission of parents? Is to direct their children to God. And once again, thanks to our dear Andre Lewis, we learn in the book Missionaries of Light that there is a lot of work behind one single reincarnation. Believe it or not, dear friends, before conception actually occurs, there are reincarnatory departments in the spiritual realm where a spirit who has been approved to reincarnate can go to help model or mold, shape a project for his or her physical body according to their spiritual needs. And there are spiritual genetic engineers working in the spiritual realm to help map out the physical body in accordance to someone's actually a particular spirit, actual needs of evolution. So we see in the book Missionaries of Light, for example, that one particular person decides to map out her body in a way where she does not experience very extreme physical beauty, where she does not showcase perfect facial features, because she thought that if she had the perfect facial features, she may be too proud of herself and may fall into a trap of forgetting her spiritual needs more readily. That isn't to say that beautiful people on the outside aren't also beautiful on the inside. Most certainly they are. But that is just an example of how we as reincarnating spirits can shape even our genetic mapping in order to meet our evolutionary, spiritual and evolutionary goals. How beautiful, right? And then in that book, we also accompany Andre Lewis in his efforts to help a particular spirit reincarnate. And in that process, there are engineers that accompany the conception process, helping to map the perispirit of that reincarnating spirit and connect it to the physical body molecule by molecule. How beautiful is that, right? And then the parents are also asked to spiritually meet with the mentors and accept the reincarnating spirit. So there is a particular case, dear listeners, that could bring tears of happiness to your heart, because if you read it in the book Missionaries of Light, by Andre Lewis, you will see that a mother actually is so honored to receive the spirit of her future child that she decides to pray for that spirit and accepts that spirit in a very, very sweet embrace. How beautiful is that? Then in that same case, we also learn that the spirit mentors accompany the process of pregnancy very, very closely to make sure that the reincarnatory process goes well. How beautiful is that? The interaction between the spirit and the physical world are amazing. And if you want to learn more, I recommend that you read the books by the spirit doctor Andre Lewis, psychographed by Chico Xavier. They're available to you at a click of a computer on Amazon, for example, if you wish. So, wow, I hope you enjoyed Belinda's adventures. Now you are going to get to know Alex. That's right, next week our dear Mark Smith will be here with you, sharing for the first time in the history of Kardec Radio the Diaries of Alex. And you will learn the behind the scenes of Alex's and Belinda's life. You will learn how their lives are connected very, very intimately from a spiritual perspective. And you will see how much they both struggled spiritually to have the gift of love in the present time. So get ready, dear friends. Lots and lots of beautiful new adventures are coming your way. And until we meet again, we wish you many, many, many beautiful blessings.
And now a message from Living Spring, number 94, The Helmet of Hope. Having the hope of salvation as a helmet. Paul, 1 Thessalonians 5. The helmet is a protection for the head, in which life has placed the seat of the manifestation of thought, and Paul could not have used a more suitable symbol for the Christian mind than the helmet as the hope of salvation. If the sentiments are often subject to attacks of violent rage, the reason often experiences the assault of discouragement when faced with the struggle for the victory of the good. This must never happen. Forces that oppose the gospel of salvation shoot rays of anesthetizing negativity at the enthusiasm of learners. The demands of everybody and the indifference of many may try to crystallize the disciple's energy, dispersing his or her noble impulses or neutralizing his or her ideals of renewal. However, it is crucial to always expect the development of latent principles of the good, even as evil, which is temporary, sends its roots in all directions. It is crucial to anticipate the strengthening of the weak, just as a farmer cannot lose faith in the tender shoots, and to wait for joy and courage from the downcast with the same expectation of a floriculturist who relies on the manifestation of aroma and beauty in his or her garden full of leafless stems. But it is also crucial to realize that Christian serenity does not mean failing to act in order to continuously improve people, things, and situations, in every aspect of the way. That is perhaps why the apostle does not use the symbol of a protective hat. A hat almost always implies going for a stroll, enjoying leisure and rest, when it is not part of the overall outfit according to the fashion of the time. A helmet, however, is a defensive piece of equipment used for battle, and Jesus' disciples are effective combatants against evil. They do not have much time to think about themselves or to demand a lot of time off because they know that the Master himself is still hard at work. Therefore, let us keep our minds on the helmet of faith-filled hope and press on to the supreme victory of the good.
This has been Cardiac Radio for Teens. Thank you all for listening.